Beowulf the Hero. The Anglo-Saxons told stories about their heroes, just as the Celts did. One of these stories was about a monster named Grendel and the great warrior who conquered him, Beowulf. The story of Beowulf is one of the oldest stories in the English language. It may have been told and retold for years before it was finally written down. The story was written in poetry because poetry was easier to remember and perform for other people. The whole story of Beowulf is long and complicated, but here is a shorter version of the story for you to listen to. Hrothgar was king of a whole host of men who fought for King Hrothgar again and again. Their strength and their courage was well known to all, so Hrothgar decided to build them a hall. It was hung with tapestries, roofed all with slate, heated by fires enormously great. Each night of the week his men gathered there to feast and to sing and to put away care. Then they unrolled their blankets, slept next to the fire, while torchlight streamed out from the hall's highest spire. Now, this hall of the king stood on high, solid ground, with safe, friendly fields and great houses all around. But far, far away over swamp land and heath lived a monster named Grendel with sharp claws and teeth. He was hairy and hideous, tall as 2 trees. The biggest of men only came to his knees. He crawled up to the hall while the weary men slept, eased open the door, and through it he crept. He picked up a warrior and ate him right there, then seized 15 more and ran off like a hare. The men tried to follow his tracks on the ground, but soon came to a river where none could be found. In the morning, the warriors mourned their dead friend and swore they would bring these attacks to an end. But although in the daytime they wanted to fight, their courage all trickled away in the night. Again and again, Grendel broke through the door, pounced into the crowd, and ate up some more of the men gathered there, and day after day, Hrothgar's warriors failed to keep him away. They were tired and frightened and lost all their pride. As news of their troubles spread out far and wide, then Beowulf, mightiest man in the earth, a fierce famous fighter of very great worth, heard that Grendel attacked Hrothgar's hall every night, and that Hrothgar's strong fighters were too scared to fight. He gathered his clan with their sharp swords and spears and set off for the hall where the men nursed their fears. Hrothgar was glad to see all those strong men. He thanked them for coming again and again. He said to them, "Welcome, Beowulf and all. Tonight all of you can sleep in my hall. When the monster arrives with his heart set on sin, he will find you in there with all of your kin. You can fight with him then. Do you need anything? Sharper swords?" But Beowulf said to the king, "Don't worry, we'll stay here with never a care. As a matter of fact, it wouldn't be fair to use swords to conquer this beast from the heath. He doesn't have weapons, just claws and his teeth. So I'll take off my armor and leave off my sword and fight with bare hands, otherwise I'd be bored." Beowulf and his men then lay down on the floor, turned out the lights, and locked the great door. They waited for Grendel, pretending to sleep. Then out of the darkness, so thick and so deep, came the sound of the monster approaching the hall. He howled and brought fear to the hearts of them all. The door, made of iron, was closed, locked, and barred. But the monster destroyed it without breathing hard. He grabbed a plump warrior, got ready to feast, but Beowulf seized the arm of the beast and started to twist it with all of his might. So then Grendel turned on him, ready to fight. But Beowulf twisted the arm yet again, while Grendel howled out with the terrible pain. He screamed and he howled, but he still couldn't flee. Beowulf's muscles were something to see. Then Beowulf pulled once again on the arm, and it popped off at once, causing Grendel great harm. Yelping, he galloped right out of the door, leaving his arm laying there on the floor. When the warriors saw what their leader had done, they cheered, then they followed where Grendel had run. The monster's great tracks led them down to a pool, where the dank mists had settled, all slimy and cool. O'er the water's black surface, engulfed there they found the body of Grendel, who jumped in and drowned. He is dead, they rejoiced. Let's have a great feast. No more will we dread the approach of the beast. So with mirth and great glee, they brought food to the hall, and they hung Grendel's arm way up high on the wall. And they ate, drank, and sang till the evening grew old. Then Hrothgar gave Beowulf armor of gold, and a bard lauded Beowulf mighty of hand, and his fame was eternally sung in the land.